I just walked out. I think actually some lectures were missed because of it. That's how disorganised the place was. I mean, if lecturers don't turn up to your flipping lesson to teach you, I mean, what the fuck? it was just, it was worse than school. I thought things in school were bad, but this was a joke. People weren't turning up for rehearsals because someone was upset, someone was threatening to quit the course. Gavin was, I think, apparently, from what I heard, Gavin was in tears over it. And just so you know, he's not actually there anymore. He's gone. He's working in Scotland now at another university. And I think it's because of this. But anyway, I don't care. You know, I've heard stories that the course now, Glyndwr, is worse than it was when Gavin was there. Some people say it's better, but I don't know.
Well, you'd have to go in there and find out, wouldn't you? You're not going to be doing that because you're not ever going to be entering the place again. No. But now you've actually decided to do something about it. Because after this 3 years of going through this at the university, you've actually decided to do something about it and send out a message. Now, there's this audio file, but you've also put together some sort of video. Would you like to?
It's not a message. It's
not a message.
It is. It's part. You could say it's a message. Yeah. Basically, as I said at the start of this, I made a video file of me basically burning my uni work. I burned every trace of it that I've got. Worksheets, textbooks,
even textbooks.
You know, an enrolment form from my first year. That was funny. And my essays that I'd actually done, printed off, got them marked. I burned them because why should I keep a load of junk that I hate? You know, a part of a place that I hate. That whenever I look at it, I just feel sick to the pit of my stomach. That is why I burned all my work.
So you had a plastic bin bag full of all the work, all the paper, all the assignments, all the handouts.
Oh, I had a blast.
Yeah,
a blast. And speaking of a blast, at the end of it, we threw a lighter on, and it basically blew up. The whole work went in the air.
So
that's a bit exaggerated, but yeah.
So you literally set fire to every single piece of paper associated with your course, and literally it's now in ashes. Is that right? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, I mean, anyone who knows of Thurstiston Beach, go and have a walk on the beach. There is a pipe right near the edge of the cliff. It's like a broken pipe. It's a bit strange, but if you see a load of white ashes on the floor, you know it was me, or you know that's where we were doing it. And, but what else can I say about it? I genuinely hate the place so much. But if I was to do something like that, burning my uni work, I obviously must hate it so much to do something like that. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the ultimate culmination of the entire 3 years, isn't it? But at least you've got absolutely no trace of it whatsoever, and you've got a message to the people involved. And they obviously must have been running a fairly dysfunctional course, and that's putting it lightly, and conditions were obviously not very ideal, and that's also putting it very lightly. So, check out the video. It's up now on youtube.com/Dan290786. Just to ram it into your memory there, and it's very funny. It's very funny, and it's really it's edited tightly, and you get to see it all burn up, and you get to see complete and utter destruction.
Yeah, so that's the story of why I hate uni. I have said in the past, and I am actually serious about it. I might even write a book about. I could go on forever. It's not just all those things I mentioned why I hated it. I could go on forever of why uni doesn't even compare to. It doesn't hold a candle.
No, you have to talk about college now. You have to talk about the differences between uni and college.
It doesn't hold a candle to what college was. I mean, okay, let's go on to college then. Now, basically, what is there to say? I mean, college is the complete opposite. What uni wasn't, college was. Now, Right, I'll just go back a bit further before college. I was in sixth form, Neston High School,
Oh,
which
Neston.
is yeah. Well, for anyone who's heard of it, again, it's in Cheshire, Wirral, England, northwest. Not it's and people will know where Liverpool is. It's not far from there, really. Chester, place, Ellesmere Port. Like I said before, it's near there. I was in sixth form. I was studying. God, what was I studying? Business studies. I was studying. I just stayed on because I wanted to stay on an extra year in school. Simple as that. And at that time, I didn't really know what I wanted to, do with my life. So, how I got into acting was I went to see a performance at Theatre Clwyd, and that performance inspired me to get into acting because I just really enjoyed it. So I applied to join a amateur dramatic group which is called WAPA, which stands for Wirral Academy of Performing Arts. That was in June 2002, and I was there for a year till July 2003. I liked it there, but it didn't really challenge me enough, and it wasn't 100% for me because it was more singing and dancing rather than acting. But that's just how it was. So I was coming towards the end of sixth form, or I was going to plan to leave after the first year anyway because I wasn't happy. And I was looking through courses at college, and I saw, the course at the Grange in Ellesmere Port, West Cheshire College. BTEC National Diploma in Performing Arts Acting. So I said, okay, I'll try, I'll apply for this. And you know what? The first time I walked in, I met Paul Moss. He was one of my teachers over the 2 years I was there. Great bloke, you couldn't... He basically at first, I had to basically audition, have a little chat with him about it. And at first he was going on about my grades that I didn't... have the right, the sufficient grades for the course, but because he liked who I was as a person and because he liked my audition and things like that, he put me on the course. He'd actually let me on.
I see. Yeah. So you were there for another 2 years.
Well, for two years in college, yeah. And ever since that day, it was brilliant. I loved every single minute of it. A bit nervous the first day, and not having said that, back then, I was a really shy person. I was not as openly, I would never openly talk like this now, back then. But I'll just reiterate what I said before about university, the differences. But college was just the complete opposite. Everyone on the course, there was about 8, well, to begin with there was over 30 and a lot of them left in the first year. But the ones who stayed from the beginning to the end, about 18 of us, they were all great, I got on with all of them really well. I never ever had any problems with anyone. There's a lot of bitching going on because there's always, bitching going on in rehearsals and things like that. But I got on with them great. I never had any problems. The teachers, again, Paul Moss, he was a great teacher. I got on really well with him, and that's another thing. When looking back at school, you can call the teachers by their first name, like Paul or Pete Mully. Now, Pete Mully, anyone anyone who's listening to this will know who he is probably because he's such a famous bloke. Everyone knows who he is. He is the funniest person you'll ever meet, and when he teaches you in drama, you can actually laugh so much and still learn what he's teaching you. That's what was such a pleasure about it, and the way he directed was brilliant as well. All his plays are just amazing. I mean, over the 2 years, we did 5 productions, right? Plus, obviously, little performances in between, but 5 major productions. It started with The Roses of Ian. That's a true life play about the plague in Derbyshire. It was at the time. It wasn't my favourite play. I actually hated it, but it was my first one. I was really nervous. But looking back now, I miss it to hell.
Because if you get the plague, you sure do go to hell.
Well, yeah, if you say so. But yeah, and it was a very depressing play at the time. But looking back, I love it now. I miss it a lot.
Just by comparison, just by by comparison to some of the ones
Yeah,
you had from them.
yeah, and we did the